Hello everyone, my name is Kieran from Red Devil Weekly, but you already knew that, and welcome to the Manchester United versus Watford live match preview. Before we get into it, please do make sure to leave a like and leave a comment down below as well if you're watching this as a video on your predictions for the game itself. Do you think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to score his first Manchester United goal against his former side? That is something we're going to be talking about and discussing on this stream. Also, if you do like how it's kind of laid out and stuff, I've tried using StreamYard. Sorry, I have done a podcast on Red Devil Studios channel where he's used this software, and I think it actually looks really, really nice. So make sure you do check him out as well if you haven't already. Red Devil Studio, of course, and all the other guests that appear on that podcast. But I thought I'd just try out myself and just see what it's like for kind of quick streams. I didn't have a lot of time tonight to kind of make a background or anything like that. So I kind of just went live with this, and if it goes well, if it looks all right, please do let me know. And also, if there's anything you guys think I should tweak and whatever, any suggestions, as always, please do let me know. Welcome, Matthew. Thanks for joining. He says, sadly, it'll end 1-0 to Watford. You heard it here first. Yeah, I've heard that one before. But hopefully you're wrong. I think you will be wrong. I hope you're going to be wrong. I think that for us, I'm going to get straight into it. I think for us, this is a massive game, really. Even though it's against Watford, I think with the results earlier in the day, with Spurs losing, and of course, I think Sheffield and Brighton drew as well, who are above us. So we've got an opportunity. We've got an opportunity to gain ground on the teams above us, and we haven't usually taken those opportunities. So we really need to start taking them. That's what I'm going to say. We need to start taking these opportunities. Welcome. There's the man himself, Red Devil Studio. There's the man himself. I've kind of thought, as a quick way to kind of get a stream open and start a stream, you can use StreamYard. Obviously, as you can see, I haven't got the kind of upgraded version where you can get all the fancy stuff. It's just a free version. But if it does work out and you guys seem to think it's all right, then I might look at getting an upgraded version. But yeah, thanks for joining, mate. Really appreciate it. And also Matthew Jones, welcome to the stream, Matthew. Thanks for joining. Obviously, one half of the United Lads, or the new channel, I think, as well. Is it called like United Comments or something? But yeah, expect good things to come from them once again. Massive game tomorrow, he says. Totally agree. It's a massive game, and as I was saying, even though Watford, Man United is not really a big fixture in the Premier League calendar, the context of this game in terms of the top four race, and with most games going forward in the Premier League for us, they are massive games. Obviously, Europa League success is not guaranteed. As we saw, we kind of struggled against Brugge. We didn't play well at all. So, getting to the Europa League final or even the semi-final is not guaranteed by any stretch of the imagination. So, ultimately, we need to still think about trying to get it through the league. And obviously, if this Champions League ban for Man City is upheld, and I'm not sure what the kind of expectancy of that is. I'm not sure how sure people are that it's going to be upheld or overturned, but that obviously remains to be seen. If it does remain that Man City have a 2-year ban, that fifth spot becomes a Champions League spot for this season at least, which obviously helps our chances. And we need to take opportunities to claw back points from the teams above us. And we haven't really been doing that this season. Every time we've been gifted an opportunity, like the one we've got this weekend, we've blown it. So if we are really serious about getting top four, we need to take those opportunities. And if we do win tomorrow, we gain ground on Spurs and Sheffield United ahead of us. So it's a big game. It is. He also says, been really impressed with Fred this year. Thoughts? Yeah, look, Fred for me has been a revelation these last few months. At the start of the season, I think a lot of people were kind of struggling to see where he fit into this Man United team going forward. He struggled in his first season. There's no doubt about it. He struggled. And everyone was, saying we paid, 60 million for this kid. 60 million and he wasn't delivering. But now he's one of our most competent players in the team, probably one of the first names on the team sheet as well at the moment. So good in transition, so good at overturning the ball, and then always looking forward as well, always looking for positive passes. One thing that, people complained about previously with the Man United midfield is that we get the ball and then we, kind of pass it backwards. And it'd be kind of backwards and sideways most of the time. But Fred, even though, you make mistakes in them, he turns over the ball sometimes. there's no doubt that he's always looking to go forward. He's always looking positive. He's always looking for that killer pass, and that's what we need. And obviously, we brought in Bruno Fernandes, who's looked very, very good so far, even though he hasn't been able to rack up an assist or goal as of yet. But in games, he has looked very, very good. Someone like that is, it will complement Fred a lot. And I think if when Pogba comes back fit, obviously McTominay coming back fit as well, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how that midfield, shapes up going forward. Whether Ole sticks with the same kind of three midfield, whether he changes it, it's going to be very, 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 very interesting to see going forward. Matthew Jones says, "Can you please let me know a bit more about StreamYard?" Yeah, well, StreamYard obviously is a free service where you can just basically connect your YouTube account, and then you can. It's pretty self-explanatory. Basically, once you've connected your YouTube account, you can create a broadcast, kind of like you do on the YouTube Studio. You create a broadcast, and then you select what YouTube channel you want to stream it off. And then once you've done that, you can then type in all your information as if it was a YouTube video. And then once you've done that, you're basically away. You just press go live, and that's that. And obviously, there's other tutorials online on how to get the this kind of tagline at the bottom. Loads of simple stuff, really simple stuff, really. So, it's a decent little tool. Obviously, the kind of upgraded versions are the best versions where you can get rid of the watermark and things like that. But it's a decent service, I have to say. It's done well. It's done well for me. And it seems like it's going all right at the moment. Matthew says, I honestly think he just needed time to adjust to the physicality. He's learning his trade, sorry. Don't know where I got leaning from. He's been faultless all season. Yeah, I think you're right. I think he has been faultless all season. I think Fred is a player who, as I said, before, he was a frustrating player to watch at times. In the first season, I think a lot of people expected him to hit the ground running, especially for 60 million, and that didn't really happen for him, unfortunately. But he seems like now that as you said, he's starting to kind of come to grips with the physicality of the league, and he's starting to, almost dominate games. I mean, I think some people are going far with the Kante comparisons already. I mean, I do find that pretty funny, but at the same time, all jokes aside, he has been very, very good this season. And I think in that game he did play better than Kante, to be fair, although he did pick up an unfortunate injury. But Fred, he has been good for us so far. Whether he can keep that up is a different story. I hope he can. As I said, I think if Pogba and McTominay are fit, I think Fred keeps his place in that midfield. It's going to be interesting to see Bruno Fernandes, Pogba, and McTominay and how that's going to fit. I think the way Fred's playing right now, I can't see how Solskjaer is going to take Fred out of that team, even when Pogba and McTominay are back fit. I don't see how that's going to work. But obviously, it's going to have to work. He'll get rid of one of them. He'll get rid of another one of them. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about that as well. How is the midfield going to fit in when Pogba and McTominay are back in the fold? Matthew says, Red Hill Studio says, multiple symbol on YouTube. Yep, there you go. He's explained it better than I could explain it. He also says, onto the game, we need to create more chances. I mean, against Brugge, you're absolutely right. Using the Brugge game as a case in point. Barely any chance created. We had a few shots from outside the box. I think Pereira had a shot saved by the keeper, and I think the keeper made a few decent saves, but apart from that, we weren't cutting them open. And that's Brugge we're talking about. And some people would say that even though the European leagues are getting stronger nowadays, the Premier League is probably the most I say it's the most competitive league, but obviously Liverpool winning by 22 points. But I think the Premier League, in terms of the competitiveness between the teams, kind of the teams higher up the table and the teams kind of mid to lower table, I think there's a lot of competitiveness there. And I think Watford as well will have their tails up. They'll know that they've beaten us before, and if they do, they know that if they come at us at Old Trafford and we don't create those chances, and they can minimise the chances we create, and they can nick one on the break, they have that confidence. They know, and that confidence is something which we found very, very hard to play against, especially at Old Trafford. We saw it against Burnley as well, where we didn't create too many opportunities. They took the two opportunities they had and won the game 2-0, and deservedly so as well. Deservedly so. Bruno Fernandes, of course, is going to help with that. I think he's been, very, very good. Even though he hasn't, as I said, racked up an assist or a goal yet, he's been very, very good in the Man United midfield. Welcome, Ryan. Welcome, Ryan. Thanks for joining, mate. Really appreciate it. He says, I personally want Pogba gone. Let's move on from this saga. Yeah, look, the Pogba story is another one that's actually a very interesting kind of debate. It's always been rumbling on in the background. That's something that I found annoying about it, is that like, even when he's not playing, even when he's been injured for months and months, he's still on the top of the agenda. And obviously that's driven a lot by the media and how they report on it and things like that. But I think he's a quality player. When he's fit and when he's firing, he's no doubt one of the best midfielders in the world. That's my opinion. When he's on form, he is one of the best midfielders in the world. I've seen some people saying Pogba's better than Scholes. That's nonsense. I mean, I'm sorry, that's ridiculous. That is absolutely mental. But Paul Pogba is a quality player. He's probably our most technically gifted player when he's fit, when he's firing. And you guys can debate that, of course, if you disagree with me. But in my opinion, I think Paul Pogba is our most technically gifted player when fit. So for someone like that to be creating so much noise, to have all this kind of allegations of he wants to leave, all the kind of, stories surrounding him, that can't be helpful for this team. That can't be helpful for the morale. That can't be helpful for Solskjaer as well, who's got all the media asking him about Paul Pogba every single day. So it's got to be frustrating for Paul Pogba, and it's got to be frustrating for Solskjaer. And I think at the end of the day, he's not going to be here at the end of the season. I'd be so surprised if he is. He's just not going to be here at the end of the season. I think Raiola, of course, coming at Solskjaer and all of this kind of negativity, all this bad stuff is just gonna end one way. And I think I agree with you. I think the sooner we can get rid of him, the better. Obviously, I think he's a great player. I'm not saying he's not a great player, but I just think that, if he doesn't want to play here, which it doesn't seem like he wants to play at Manchester United, then we just have to give up. We just have to give it up. Welcome, RB Comps. Thanks for joining. Make sure you check out his channel. Some really, really sick compilations on there, mate. You're really doing a great job, I have to say. And, really, really, appreciate the fact you like my feedback on your videos. And when I watch them, they're always, the edits are so good. I wish I was that talented. And he's also learning his trade, so he's just going to get better and better as he continues. So make sure you do check out that channel if you haven't already. I've read a few of your comments because I haven't been reading your comments as much. But Matthew says, would you start IGHALO tomorrow? I'm not sure if I'm not sure. Obviously, the trip, the Thursday night trip in the Europa League, is going to mean there are some need for rotation. And I think IGHALO, I think I wouldn't be annoyed with it. I wouldn't be mad at it if we started IGHALO. I wouldn't be mad at it at all. And I think, playing against his former side, Watford, I think some of the defenders he would have played against in training are still there as well. So I think, why not? Why not starting against Watford? Why not? I think Solskjaer probably won't do that, but I would not be mad at it at all. Ryan says rumours McTominay may be back. I think that's a great. I think that is a great thing for us. That is a great positive for us, because I think McTominay, before he got injured, was one of our best players. He was when McTominay was fit, he was outperforming Fred massively. Now Fred, of course, has taken that role and done superbly. So if we were to see McTominay and Fred in the same team, I think it could shape up well for us, and I hope it does. Welcome, Brother Gaming. Thanks for joining. Apparently, Lingard and Pereira out of the squad for tomorrow. Look, the way they've been playing, I don't think anyone's going to be annoyed at that. I'm sorry if they're watching, but their form hasn't been great. You have to say it. Their form has not been great. So yeah, if that is true, I'm not sure if that's true. Obviously, it's just a comment. I'm not sure if that's true, but if it is, then I'm sure a lot of United fans are not going to be annoyed at that. Let's just say that. Ryan says he'd start Martial. He's back in form. Yeah, Martial, to be fair to him, I did doubt him. I did doubt him a lot, actually. I was getting quite frustrated with Martial. I was getting quite frustrated with the fact that he wasn't finishing the chances that were being put on a plate for him. Obviously, against Burnley as well, that was massive. The chance he missed, we went on to lose that game 2-0. But if Martial sticks that way, it's a different game. And in football, it's about fine margins. It's about those kind of, it's about fine margins. It's about, if you score that early goal, it can change everything. It can change everything. So, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. But Martial, as you say, is in form. Obviously, I think he scored. Has he scored 2 goals in his last two? I'm not sure. I think he did score. Um, oh, I'm so much of a fan. I don't even fucking know. I swear he scored 2 goals in his last two. Um, of course, because he scored against Chelsea. I'm pretty sure he scored against Chelsea. Um, Yeah, he did. He scored the header. What am I saying? What am I saying? But yeah, Martial, of course, has come back into form slightly. So I think it'd be, we should start him, of course. But it's about whether Odin Igalo starts next to him. I think, to be honest with you guys, Daniel James needs to be taking a rest. He just has to take a rest for me. I like him. I like him as a player. I like him as a person. But I think he was not expected when we bought him to play this amount of games. He wasn't expected to be someone who we relied on for goals and assists this season. He was supposed to be someone who we were bringing through gradually. But as it's happened with injuries and the way Solskjaer likes to play, he's been playing week in, week out. Obviously, he got the rest against Bruges, which suggests to me that Solskjaer might look to play him in tomorrow's game. But for me, I think, if we were to play a front two, I think Igalo should be playing with Martial, because then you've got Igalo who's a ready-made striker. He's someone who's, he knows what he knows Premier League. He had a brilliant season for Watford. I think in the 2015-16 season, probably one of his best seasons of his career in the Premier League. He knows what it means to be a Premier League striker. So to have someone with that sort of pedigree next to Anthony Martial as well, I think that'll be a winning combination for us. I don't know what I was thinking. I just had a complete mind blank. I really did have a complete mind blank. Welcome, Kashif. Thanks for joining, Kashif. Really appreciate it. Matthew says, on his day, Pogba was decent, but he doesn't have the work rate needed for the Ole system. He hinted in the summer that he wanted to go to Madrid. Exactly. These sort of things, it just adds fuel to the fire, and it's just annoying. It's just annoying from a fan's perspective, and I'm sure he's getting frustrated. So I just think the best thing for both parties is that we cash in for him and we reinvest, and we need to reinvest that money. But yeah, welcome, Kashif. Thanks for joining. Red Devil Shoes' thoughts on Bailly masterclass. Now, Eric Bailly, for me, was one of my favourite players when he was in the squad, and obviously he's been really unfortunate with injuries. But when the performance he put in against Bruges and against Chelsea, just against Chelsea, he didn't play against Bruges. Again, I don't know what I mean. I'm off my head, mate. I'm off my head, lads. It's 9:30 on a Friday, on a Saturday night. Again, don't even know what day it is. Anyway, against Chelsea, he had an absolute masterclass. I totally agree. I mean, to come back from a long-term injury and that to be, one of your first games and to play as well as that, superb, absolutely superb from him. Absolutely. I mean, he was doing Cruyff turns in our own box, for God's sake. I mean, he felt back at home. He just came back into the squad straight away. And I really do think he's challenging Victor Lindelof for that spot next to Maguire. I really do think he is. It's great that we have, 3 centre-backs who are fairly decent, even though, Lindelof this season hasn't really been up to it. But, Maguire, Bailly and Lindelof as a kind of 3 centre-backs to kind of build on, because let's be fair, Lindelof and Bailly are still quite young. They're still, 24, 25 years of age. So, they've still got a lot left in the tank. If we can keep them, we can continue developing them. It could potentially be, it's good squad depth, 100% good squad depth. I think we do need potentially another centre-back, but I think, having Bailly and Lindelof there with Maguire, I think can only be good. Kashif hates Mino. I think you're in the majority with that opinion. Matthew says, would like to call back in sometime, mate. When are you free? Oh, well, I mean, I'm free most of the time, but yeah, I'll try and get back to these sort of streams, because obviously, I do enjoy doing streams a lot more than I do, videos and things like that. But yeah, unfortunately tonight Skype's not open. But when it is open, I'll let you know. But yeah, I really enjoyed when you called in, Matthew. Really enjoyed it as always. So yeah, I'll definitely try and get you back on as soon as possible. He also says, Red Hill Studio, massive fan of Eric Bailly, needs to stay fit, but definitely much more physical and stronger than Lindelof. Totally agree. But yeah, on obviously the Watford game tomorrow. We've talked about how much importance it serves for us, but also just for personal pride. We can't let Watford do the double over us. We can't let Watford do the double over us. I mean, when was the last time that happened? I was just checking that wasn't like 2 years ago under Lou Van Gaal because I would not be surprised. But I don't even know when the last time that happened. It'd just be embarrassing. It'd be so embarrassing if that happened. We can't let it happen. Um, but Watford, they've got some good players going forward. Even though they've struggled this season, they had our number last time we played. Obviously, the goals that they came up with came from a shocking defending from Wan-Bissaka giving away the penalty and a howler from David De Gea. But at the same time, you can't say they didn't deserve to win that game. You couldn't say that. So we have to take that one on the chin, but we have to absolutely batter them at Old Trafford tomorrow. It has to be done. It has to be done. And if I mean, the win's all that matters at this stage of the season. I always say that the win's all that matters. It doesn't matter if it comes off, as Neil Warnock would say, knob end in 90th minute. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when it comes. As long as it comes, I really don't care. Matthew says, "Good night, lads. Great streams. Always speak to you soon." Yeah, thanks for joining, Matthew. Really appreciate it as always. Thanks for joining. I hope it's all well. But it's going to be, I mean, I think it's going to be, it's going to be an interesting game because obviously in the past you would say we're just going to be absolutely like hounding Watford. We're going to be on the front foot. We're just going to be attacking them. But ultimately, the way we like to play this season, especially under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we don't really enjoy having the ball too much. We enjoy playing on the counter attack. So I wouldn't be surprised if we let Watford come onto us, let Watford press us, and depending on which Man United turns up, that could either cause us a lot of problems or play into our hands very, very well. Because Watford know they've got nothing to lose. Coming to Old Trafford for most teams is not something which they pinpoint at the start of the season saying that's a game we can get 3 points at. A lot of teams come to Old Trafford and say, let's just have nothing to lose and play without fear. And that is usually what gets us. When we go away from home, we're allowed to have our opposition not have much of the ball, which then means that we can counterattack effectively using our pace. But when other teams come to Old Trafford and have nothing to lose, like Burnley did, it causes a lot of problems for us because once we have to have the ball, whilst we have Bruno Fernandes coming in, who's very good creatively. Against Bruges, we hardly create any chances. So with the team we've got right now, when we're forced to having to play that final ball and play the killer pass, it's difficult for us. It's very, very difficult. And that's why we find it very, very hard to break teams down, especially lower blocks at Old Trafford. Everton, obviously, we only drew the game because of a brilliant finish by Mason Greenwood. And hopefully we see Mason Greenwood back in the team as well in no time at all. But I think this game is not a dead set. I mean, no games of Manchester United at Old Trafford these days are a dead set. And I think Watford are going to come to play. They're going to come to try and upset us. And, as I said, they've got nothing to lose. They're going to be really coming at us. They're going to be really, they know what weaknesses to exploit. They know that, we like to play out from the back and, also we're terrible from defending at set pieces. We can't defend set pieces to save our life. And I think, again, Watford is another one of those teams that will use that to their advantage. And a win for them tomorrow as well would be absolutely massive in terms of the table. Just looking at here, they are only 2 points behind 16th place. So a win for them tomorrow could see them lift out of the bottom three, which would be massive for them. So they've got huge motivation to get out of that bottom to win tomorrow. And obviously, a prediction's already coming on the stream saying we're going to lose 1-0. As I said, I hope Matthew's wrong, but you never know, really. You never know. Kashif says McSauce also back in squad. Yeah, obviously a big thing for us, big plus in my opinion. Playing really, really well before he got injured. So yeah, disappointing, but it's great to see him back in the team. And hopefully, I'm not sure if Solskjaer's going to start him, but if he does get a start, I think that'll be magnificent. I think Matic, whilst he hasn't been too bad, I don't think Matic's been our worst player since he's come back, which I expected him to be terrible, but he hasn't actually been our worst player. And he's done all right for himself, but I think Matic has to make way for McTominay, and I think Fred and probably Mata I play in that centre. Oh no, sorry, Bruno Fernandes. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? Yeah, I'm sorry, but Pereira, take a seat, mate. Yeah, it's not working out. It's not working out. And as I said, he's another one of those players who I'd be surprised if he's here at the end of the season. I'm surprised if he didn't go out on loan or something like that. Kashish says, "What's your view on Lingard and Pereira in the squad for the Watford game?" I'm not in this. Well, I mean, I think Solskjaer might see another. It might be a kind of might be another ruthless streak. I'm going to take these out. Another ruthless streak we're seeing from Solskjaer. If he is reacting to their performances as of late, because they haven't been brilliant. Let's say that. Let's keep it PG. But they haven't been great, and I think this could be Solskjaer to react with that. And I think they'll probably recognise themselves that they haven't been having the best of 2020s. So I have no problem with it, and I'm sure a lot of United fans don't really have a problem with it. Obviously, as players that come off the bench, realistically, how much are they going to change? Even when they come off the bench, how much are they going to change? Not much is the answer. As we've seen so far this season, when they have come on, rarely have they changed the game. Lingard sometimes has come on and added a bit of tempo, but really hasn't had too much of an effect on games. And unfortunately, he just hasn't really hit the same form that we saw, back when he was under Louis van Gaal, or even in Jose Mourinho's second season. We haven't seen that. And Pereira, whilst he, ended last season, all right, and he started this season decently, again, he's just fallen off a cliff, which is unfortunate because I don't dislike them. I don't dislike them as people, but the way they've been playing in the moment, there's no doubt they haven't been brilliant. And hopefully in the coming months, they prove me wrong and suddenly they become completely revitalised. But I don't see that happening. Red Osir, don't think you can drop Matic. McTominay can come in for him though. Well, I mean, look, I think it's going to be interesting to see how Solskjaer picks this. I think ultimately Matic is not going to be part of the plan going forward. At least I hope he's not part of the plan going forward. It's be interesting to see how Solskjaer kind of phases him out as we bring in more players, come back from injury, just to say. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. But I think Matic, if Matic is dropped, I do see McTominay coming in for him, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. I wouldn't be surprised, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion, of course. Kashif says, Bruno and Nigerian R9, masterclass inbound. Well, that's where I'm going to finish. I'm just going to give my prediction as well. My prediction for the game is I'm going to go for a 2-0 Manchester United win. Even though, as I said, Old Trafford, we've been poor this season, especially against teams middle to lower in the table, we've been poor. And, our home record's been shocking. It's been shocking, really, for the last kind of, since Solskjaer signed the contract, our home record's been poor. So we have to rectify that. We have to be winning these sort of games. And I think we can. And I think we will. I think we'll be 2-0. And I see Ole Gunnar bagging a goal. I don't know why. I just see it happening. I just see it written in the stars. Comes back against Watford, bangs one in for us, does his celebration. It's all brilliant. And I think Martial as well. 2 in 2 games for Martial. I think he'll make it 3 in 3 games as well. I think he's on a bit of a hot streak, and hopefully he can continue that to the end of the season, because he'll be a very important player for us going forward, especially with Rashford now expected to not make a return until the end of the season, which is so disappointing. A lot of people are expecting him to come back in March and hopefully help us towards the end of the season, push for that top 4 place. But it looks like it's over for Rashford this season, which is desperately disappointing. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Please leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And I'll see you after the game tomorrow, hopefully with the 3 points in the bag. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.